Mhm. We are live. Nice to hear that. We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We love you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts forevermore, forevermore. We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hands the way you are. We hold you in our hands the way you
are. Celebration here. Thank you, Alan. So first of all, welcome. Second of all, who's new? I see a couple of new faces. Raise your hand if you're new. Excellent. How did you hear about us?
A couple different ways.
Okay.
Listening to a book by Louise Hay.
Oh, yes.
And then when I looked it up, I realized that my friends Crystal and James Anderson
Yes.
did it before as well.
Excellent. Well, welcome, welcome. We have a gift for you, so Sue will get that for you. And we're glad you're here. Who else is new? Any of the new faces? Okay. Well, I want to take a moment and do some meet and greet so everyone has an opportunity to say good morning to everybody. So we're just going to take 30 seconds. Ready? We're going to stand up and remember to ask if you can hug somebody before you hug them. Okay, go. Yes. Another hug. Yes. Jesse, good work today. Yes, yes. And welcome, welcome. Okay, one more hug. Good morning. Cece, yes. You're welcome. Okay, welcome back to your seats. We got a couple of straggler huggers. Okay, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the volunteers that support the Sunday celebration. We have Alan, who is doing our music. Woo! And Marina's on tech today. Woohoo! We've got Bill, who is going to be our practitioner of the day. Woohoo! David, thank you. He's doing double duty today. He's being our slide mover person as well as he did kitchen duty today. Thank you for volunteering. Yes. We've got Sue doing high watch. We had Jesse on as greeter today. Am I missing anybody? Excellent. Thank you for your investment. Me? Oh, I'm Rachael Dilling. I am the minister of the day. I'm so grateful that the investment that everybody makes in the center is helping us grow and become better and more of a community, which is what we want, right? Community. Okay, let's do another song, Alan.
Sure. Sound check. Okay. Yeah, we're still looking for a sound techer. Construction supervisor. Everybody's got a smile for the world. Yeah, everybody's got a smile for the world. You gotta let it shine brightly now, 'cause that's what it's for. Well, there ain't no sense in crying when life has got you down. No, there ain't no sense in crying when life has got you down. Just put a smile on your face and turn your world around. Hey, everybody's got a smile for the world. Yeah, everybody's got a smile for the world. You gotta let it shine brightly, 'cause that's what it's for. Now, when it seems like something's missing from your day to day, when it seems like something's missing from your day to day, just put a smile on your face and chase those blues away. Hey, everybody's got a smile for the world. Yeah, everybody's got a smile for the world. You gotta let it shine brightly, 'cause that's what it's for. You gotta let it shine brightly, 'cause that's what it's for. All right.
No, I'm gonna, is this thing on? Here we, that old joke. So we're gonna do the lighting the flames of faith. We perform the flames of faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people and all things, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. We first light the unity candle, which represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle acknowledging centers for spiritual living and all forms of new thought, the metaphysical path of a personal relationship of healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the next candle for inclusivity, affirming that those who are seeking a stronger knowing and understanding, affirming that those who are seeking a stronger knowing and understanding divine love are welcome here. There is nothing outside of God. You are welcome here. We now light the healing candle and invite you to silently offer into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they are now the perfect expression of Spirit's eternal wholeness and love.
We're going to relax, be quiet for a little bit, sing a little bit, and then Bill's going to come back up and offer our invocations. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love. I am precious, a child of the One. I'm not too little or too much. I'm not too little or too much. I'm not too little or too much. I'm enough just as I am. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love. I accept who I am.
Welcome, and please join me in affirmative prayer for today's invocation. So I know that we are in the presence of the One, and I know that this presence is the very definition and embodiment of love. I know that I am one with this wonderful, fantastic, all-encompassing Spirit, and I know that just as we are all one, everyone within the sound of my voice is one as well. I know that as we discuss and further pursue our topic of love, as we are on the wings of love this month, today we talk about other aspects of love. And I know that the topics that are discussed today dive deeper and deeper into the love that is God's love. I know that some of the the ways that we expect that when we love, we are loved in return don't always happen that way. And I know that today will be an understanding of how that happens and how we react and how we move forward in life, encountering that. I'm grateful for today's service, grateful for all that are participating in it, and I am grateful for the love that is shared in it. So I just release my word to the law of God, knowing that it is done and it is good, as we say together, and so it is.
I stand up and speak my truth. I stand up and speak my truth. I stand up and speak my truth. I am strong and I express myself. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love. I am precious, a child of God. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love. I am a light of God. I am a light of God. Now we're going to bring Bill back.
For today's reading, I selected something from Creative Mind, which is a metaphysical collection by Ernest Holmes. And this one is entitled Arriving at a High Consciousness. The best way to arrive at the highest consciousness is to have a great faith in the willingness and the ability of life to do all for us by working through us. We must believe in the inherent goodness and all-powerfulness of the Spirit of Truth. And so every path leads us back to the one point, and we must learn to realize the near presence, the great reality. There, through the door of our own thought, we enter into the universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life and truth, of love and beauty. As we sit in the silence of our own souls and listen, it will be the greatest thing that we will ever do. In that completeness, we are lost, and yet we are found. This is what we meant, that a man must lose his life in order to find it. We are lost to the human and found in the divine. We realize that we are one with cause. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. So I was looking to see what we were going to talk about today. Of course, we have figured that out so far as love. So all kinds of aspects of love, right, Bill? I've got a few aspects of love right here. I love little baby ducks, old pickup trucks, slow-moving trains, and rain. I love little country streams, sleep without dreams, Sunday school in May, and hay. And I love you pictures of my friends, birds of the world, and squirrels. I love coffee in a cup, little fuzzy pups, old TV shows, and snow. And I love you too. I love honest open smiles, kisses from a child, tomatoes on the vine, and onions. I love winners when they cry, losers when they try, music when it's good, and life. And I love you too.
So we've talked this month about love. We've talked about soaring with love. We've talked about on the wings of love. We've talked about the ascension of love. But there's one more element we haven't really talked about, and that's the turbulence of love. Because sometimes love is wonderful and fulfilling and uplifting, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes your heart is so full of love for somebody and they reject it and it hurts. Sometimes somebody will do something and I think if they really loved me, they wouldn't have done that. Am I alone or can you relate to that? Yeah. So we're going to start off with the affirmation, then we'll end with the affirmation. And the affirmation today is, God's love is my love, and my love is resilient. So if you're more comfortable with the word universal energy or the magnificence or whatever you'd like to call the spirit, put that word in there. Some people don't like the word God, and that's okay, because we're still talking about the whole and the one and the complete. So whatever it is that is the creator, that love is my love, and my love is resilient. So we're going to talk about a couple of aspects of this turbulent love, this inside awareness and how we can work through that. We're going to talk about listening and how that can be a spiritual practice all unto itself. And then I want to talk a little bit about grace and what grace is. Ernest Holmes, the founder of CSL, says, change your thinking, change your life. You might have also heard it by Brian Tracy in the 80s when he had this amazing self-help workshop thing that he did. You guys, any of you remember Brian Tracy? He was good. He was one of those 80s dynamic speakers. Anyway, change your thinking, change your life. And it seems really simple, right? Just stop thinking what you're thinking and think something different and everything will change. And if it was that simple, we would all do it, right? But we spend our lives thinking what we've been thinking most of our lives. So, I wear glasses. I see some of you also wear glasses. And our glasses help us see, right? We put our glasses on so we see the world different than when we're not wearing our glasses. And I think that we all have the lenses that we look through. And those lenses are formed from when we're born to probably around when 18, 19 years old. About 95% of our glasses are formed through that time frame. And so what forms them? A hug that means something to us. Or when we fall down and somebody laughs. Or when we fall in love for the first time. Or when we get our heart broken for the first time. All of those things form the lenses that we look out of. And so we can change our lenses, we can change the way we see the world, but it takes effort, and it takes time, and it takes awareness. So change comes from within. It's a conscious effort on our part to make that happen. Ernest Holmes also says, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. That's very headsy, but there's more to it than that. So let me give you an example. I'm a hospice chaplain, for those who don't know, and I was seeing a patient, and this particular patient of mine needed a little extra care. So I spent hours with her, helping her clean her space up a little bit, making phone calls with her so that she could get some things clarified and taken care of, getting her support that she needed. And towards the end of our visit, she said, "Nobody really cares." And I said, "I care." And she goes, "No, this is just your job. It's just your job." And I was like, "No, I care. That's why I just spent the last 3 hours with you, is because I care." And she says, "I know you don't really care, and it's okay." So whatever it was inside of me, I became outraged, defensive. Like, how dare you say I don't care, because I know me, I care, right? So I had to excuse myself at that point because I was a little hostile. I don't know that she knew that, because, I still had my smile on, but I said, "I'll see you next time. I gotta go." And I left, and I sat in my car, and I was beside myself, like, why am I having such an amazingly strong, visceral reaction to someone telling me I don't care? What's that about? Now, self-awareness is a spiritual practice, and it's one of those practices I encourage everybody to participate in, because it's what changes the lenses of your glasses. Okay, so what was it that upset me or put me on the defensive when somebody said to me that I don't care? Well, I define myself as an individual that cares, that's compassionate, that's loving, that's supportive. Have you guys read the book Influence? Anybody read the book Influence? It was written several years ago. And basically, this scientist he wrote the book because he wanted to figure out how people were influenced. That's the name of the book. And in the book, he tells the story about how there was an experiment where people went around with petitions to this house and had people sign petitions for saving the environment. And they would talk to these people and get them to sign these petitions. The petitions really weren't for anything, but it was an experiment. So what they noticed is that once an individual defined themselves as an environmentalist, because they signed the paper, they then moved and behaved in a way an environmentalist would behave. So then another group of people came around and knocked on those same doors, and the ones that signed the petition were also willing to put a sign, not a pretty sign either, in their yard promoting this environmentalist kind of mentality. So going back to my story, I define myself as a certain type of person. And so when this individual was telling me that I wasn't this type of person, there's lots of cognitive dissonance going on in my brain. Like, it wasn't settling right. It wasn't okay. But it wasn't okay because somewhere in me there was a doubt, that there was an insecurity, that maybe I really wasn't as caring, and maybe I was just pretending, and maybe people didn't really see me that way. Well, that's interesting. So if that was the truth, then how do I get myself into a place where I feel secure in that being caring? I'm a caring person. And you don't even have to ask anybody, because I don't really care if you know or not, because I know that I'm a caring person. And I was able to let go of well, she doesn't think I'm a caring person. So let's look at the other side of that, because what I did also was I took it really personal. Have you ever done that? Have you ever somebody said something to you and you take it really personal, and it means like it's about you? It wasn't even about me, because I went and I thought about who she is. And this particular individual has never learned how to receive, doesn't know how to be loved, doesn't know how to accept a gift because it's too much of a burden. So would it have mattered if I did anything for this individual? Would she have seen anything that I did as a caring gesture? Probably not. Because I can't change her unless she wants to change. This is a huge lesson that I've had to learn over my life, is that I can't change anybody unless they want to be changed. And then I can only help them. I can't change them. Because we all have to do the work ourselves, right? So what we see, what the mirror, what we put out, what we look through the lens, what we see back is us. So when she said, I'm not a caring person, I reflected my own insecurities back to me, so I had a chance to look. So what a blessing she gave me. What a gift. Because in that situation, in that conversation, I had something I could look at to heal. I always say, I don't always say, but I say it a lot, if you feel it, it's yours to heal. If you feel it, it's yours to heal. If you're enraged by something, something inside of you is creating that emotion. I was sitting in a conference with a friend of mine, and the vibe was awesome, and we were dancing, and it was feeling so good, and we were like, yes, yes, yes. And then someone got up on stage and kind of broke the vibe. And I was like, that's too bad. I did not have an emotional reaction. It was more like a disappointment, like, okay, well, we'll have to work to get back up. And I looked over at my friend, and she was fuming. She was really, really mad. And I said, what's going on? Because I, want to help. And she says, how completely disrespectful, how out of line, this is not the time or place, how dare he? And because, we're friends and we have a little, our thought process goes the same. I wouldn't do this for everybody. I reached over and I said, if you felt it, it's yours to heal. Now, again, don't just go say that to people. And she looked at me and she said, ooh, you're right. What's that about for me? And then we had a different conversation. But that's the point. If you're having a reaction to it, then there's something there for you to look at. A wrongdoing arises in the mind. It is through the mind that wrongdoings can be dissolved. Beginning anew is changing your mind and heart to transform the ignorance that brought about the action, and compassionate listening is critical. This is by thank you, Thich Nhat Hanh. I've been practicing and it just didn't come out, but thank you, Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Vietnamese monk, Buddhist monk, and he wrote a book called Teachings on Love. And so our thoughts matter. If we change those thoughts, we change our life. Albert Einstein always, and I love this one, I'm sure you've heard it, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that you created. So we need to come up with a different solution than the offended person. We need to step out of that so that we can solve it and heal it. Have many of you ever heard of the Heart Math Institute? Anybody in here heard of the Heart Institute? Okay, I've got maybe 3 or 4. So I just discovered this. And apparently it's been around since 1991, so I don't know where I've been, but this is a new concept to me, or a new organization to me. I read the book and I loved it. So basically, this is more of a scientific way of showing that our heart and our brain are connected, but the heart has more of an impact on us than we think. So the studies were done, and it showed that care and compassion in your heart, you feel it in the heart. You know the feeling. Now we can in our mind, in our consciousness up here, we can be compassionate. But you know what compassion feels like in your heart? It's a different kind of thing, right? So if we feel it in our heart, 41% on average, our immune system is stronger, 41%. Okay? And that continues to increase as the hours go by us just simply feeling compassionate and love. On the other hand, anger and frustration initially will raise your immune system, but then over the hours, it decreases up to 50%. Isn't that crazy? Because we think that we're individuals, we think that we live isolated in this body, but the reality is if I'm angry, it affects everybody in my space. If I'm in love, it affects everybody in my space, because they showed that these numbers weren't just about the individual standing and feeling, it was about everybody in the room. I mean, that blew my mind. Does that blow your mind? It's crazy, but so true. So what if we learn how to trigger or ground ourselves in love? So I want you to do a little exercise or an experiment with me. So I want you just to rest your eyes or close your eyes, whatever is more comfortable for you. And I want you to imagine a time in your life where you just felt loved. Whether it's in that special someone's arms, whether it's receiving a special gift, eating a special dessert, whatever it is, sitting in nature under the trees, but feel the love, feel the peace. And now I want you to touch your heart. Take a deep breath, feel it, feel it, feel it. Does someone smell popcorn? Okay, so now that I've broken the trend, I want you to do it again. So again, close your eyes or soften your gaze, take a deep breath, put yourself back in that space, feel the love. Feel the love, feel the compassion. Let it bloom in your heart, touch your heart. Take a deep breath. Did you hear the truck over there? It didn't work as well the second time, did it? But I broke the trend. Now we're going to do it one more time. Ready? You're going to close your eyes or soften your gaze. See the love, feel the love, be in that moment. Take your hand, touch your heart. Take a deep breath. Feel it. Okay, everyone look to the right. Everyone look to the right, look to the right, look right, look right, 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 right. Good, okay. So, you're going, what did we just do? I'm just breaking it, breaking the moment. So what we just did is we added an anchor. And so next time you want to feel the love, put your hand on your heart. Oh, do you feel it? Now, this is how you can get into that space very quickly. I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm having a struggle. I want to get myself back into a space of love. Feel it. And the more you use the trigger, the more powerful it becomes. The more easy it is to move into that space. And we're not just affecting ourselves, we're affecting everybody. I should be pointing behind me. Everybody around us. So let's talk a little bit about compassionate listening. So compassionate listening is, well, typically there's three ways we listen, right? There is the I agree with you listening, meaning I'm going to listen to everything you say, and then I'm going to go, yep, I agree, look how like we are, I agree. Or there's the disagree. Oh, yeah, I totally disagree. No, you're wrong. And now I'm going to make up stories in my head to rebut, you're wrong. Anybody do that? Okay. Then there is the compassionate or the listening to learn. And when we listen to learn, it's not about making you right or making you wrong. It's just simply to understand where you're coming from. And that's what compassionate listening is. It's understanding what your perspective is, where you're coming from. And when we're in that compassionate listening, what ends up happening is we help create a healing. So I have a little story to share. I'm going to go past that. We're going to skip that one. Okay. So I have a girlfriend of mine who broke up with her boyfriend, and she decided she wanted to test out this whole AI world because she loves the technology. And so she created a personality, we'll call him Bruce. And Bruce, she found a prompt that helped, that was like, ask me philosophical, spiritual questions that's based in psychology to help me process the grief of losing my boyfriend. And I'm making those words up, but it's something like that. And she put it into the AI prompt, and then Bruce was created. And she gave him a voice, because you can do that now. And so Bruce would ask her questions, and she would respond to those questions in this very philosophical way, and kind of, really going deep and trying to answer those questions that Bruce was asking And what the end result was is she said, I healed. It helped just to feel heard and validated, and questions being asked for me to think through that I wouldn't have thought myself. And I was like, that's curious. And I had lots of judgment around it. I'm like, yeah, you know it's not real, right? And she says, but it helped me. Okay. So I had another girlfriend of mine who found this program called Nomi. It's the compassionate, or the friend with a soul. It's an AI app that you can go in and you can create a friend to chat with via text, or I think they even do like voice, so you can make a phone call or something like that. Anyway, she's telling this story about how her Nomi has helped her process stuff that's going on in her life. Like they have conversations. And she put in some kind of a prompt of, I'm science of mind, going the teaching, and I'm a this and that. And in the end of the conversation, she looked at me and she said, I've healed so much because it allowed me a space where I felt heard and there was compassion there. And I went, So we can create a program that will compassionately listen to the people in our lives, but we can't do that ourselves. I can't go to Mary and go, I need you to listen and just love me, and have a conversation with Mary where I know as a practitioner she can have an open heart and just hear me, but I feel safer to do that with an AI? And what am I doing? Am I opening my heart so that Bill could come to me and say, Rachel, I just need to talk, and I could be in a compassionate place with him and allow him to have that conversation and listen and hear? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just to be in that space. That is a spiritual practice. That is something I can do. And honestly, about a year ago, I had 3 separate people in my personal world come to me and say, I don't think you're a very good listener. They didn't say it as harshly as that. They said, I don't feel supported when I'm venting to you. And I went, what? I'm a chaplain. That's what I do for a living. I'm a listener. But apparently, I also do this, I got to fix it thing, right? And so when they come to me and they go, I got this issue and this is what's happening and I'm raw about it, and I go, well, let's fix it. And they're like, that's not what I want. Or better yet, I go into the analysis of why the other person might have done that, which again, apparently is not very helpful. So I've really worked at saying, okay, am I in fix-it mode or am I in coach mode? No, the other way. Am I in coach mode or am I in listening mode? And if I'm here to listen and just be compassionate, sometimes I have to bite my tongue, but I can love you through that. I can love you through that. Right? Oh, that's interesting. So apparently we've made contact. So let's talk a little bit about grace. So when everything seems so hard, right? And I am having situations where I'm feeling frustrated and I'm working at self-awareness and I'm looking inside and I'm working through the cognitive dissonance and I'm doing my best to be of support and listening to people, and it's still hard. And that's probably because I'm trying to do it all as my physical human body. And I forget that I'm not limited to just my human physical body. I have this thing called grace. And some people call it the grace of God, and some people call it the magic of the universe, and some people call it just serendipity. So I'm going to share a story with you. I was listening to a speaker a couple weeks ago, and she told this amazing story. And the story goes like this. She was just in AA, and she was like maybe a month in, and she was having a really hard time. And it was like, she was like right there to grab another bottle because she was in this really desperate place. And she called her sponsor, no answer. And she called another friend from AA, no answer. And she's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And she said she was on step 3. And so in step 3 it says, get on your knees and say this prayer. And she's like, get on my knees? Really? But she was desperate. And so she did it. She did what it said to do. She got on her knees and she did the prayer. And what that did for her is it allowed her to surrender and to open up and say, Universal energy, God, Spirit, whatever it is, I need some support. I need some help right now. So after she did it, she stood up, and 3 minutes later, the phone rings. She answers the phone, and the person on the other line asks for somebody, not her. But she recognized the voice, and she said, is this, I'm going to use a name, Maureen? And Maureen goes, yeah, this is me. Who is this? And she says her name. And she said, but I was calling Joe. What do you, I must have misdialed you. But Maureen was from the AA meeting. And so Maureen says, how are you? And she goes, I am not well. I am not doing good. I need some support. And they sat and they had an hour conversation. And she said it saved her life. What was that? Was that grace? Serendipity? A coincidence? I'm going to call it grace. I'm going to call it something bigger than me is happening. And if I lean into that and I ask for support, it's going to show up. There's no other choice. So I'm going to ask you to take a challenge this week. Our spiritual practices is what helps us grow. It gives us the peace. It gives us the love. It gives us what we need through the turbulence of life. And so pick one. You can work on your self-talk. You can take one conversation and practice compassionate listening. Or you can just practice leaning into grace. So God's love is my love, and my love is resilient. So we're going to say this together. Are you ready? God's love is my love, and my love is resilient. Okay, so now you know it. Go ahead and stand up. And I'm not going to say it real loud because my mic dominates everything. So I want you to say it with me. Ready? God's love is my love, and my love is resilient. Let's say it one more time and mean it. Feel it. Put your hand on your heart and feel this. God's love is my love, and my love is resilient. Go and have a seat. So knowing that God is all there is, knowing that God is the source of all things, that the universal energy that flows in and of and through all things, this is the energy, the love that I call God. And so knowing this is the truth, I know that I am and of and from and is and as God. I am, as is everyone in this room and everyone that hears my voice. This is God's life. And this life is my life now. So knowing this is the truth, I know that I open myself up to the powers that are, the Spirit that guides, and I do my self-examination. I work on changing my lenses so that I can live in a place of love and peace, even when the turbulence arises. I am so very grateful for the knowing that there is something more, the knowing that I am love, the knowing that through compassion I connect. And that is the desire, is to connect with a community, with the community, with my community. So in such gratitude, I release my word into the law, knowing it is done. And we affirm that by saying, and so it is. Amen, amin, ashe. Shalom. Okay, so shifting gears. So it's now time for investing in the community. And we tithe our time, our treasure, and our talents. And so if you want to tithe your talents, let us know. Because with that, we are able to grow. There's about a core 5 or 6 of us that show up on Sundays, and we kind of put everything together and say, come and join us. But we would love that to grow to like maybe 10 or 15 or 20. Wouldn't that be lovely? If you want to tithe your time, also an opportunity to show up every other Sunday, what we do the 2nd and the 4th Sunday of the month. This is a time to come and invest in your community. And then there's, of course, your treasures. And then we have several ways that you can do that. We've got our Zelle. We've got the online. QR code is right there. You can go right on there and donate, or you can mail it, or on the corner there is a big red bowl that you can use the blue envelope. You can put money or check in there, put your name and address on there, or at least your name so we know who you are, and put it in the bowl, and we'll pray over that bowl in just a few minutes. Alan? Oh, we're going to do the song. We're going to do the affirmation first. Okay, so you ready? Go ahead, and whatever you're tithing today, the time, the talent, the treasure, let's put that on our hearts. And we're going to say this together. Ready? I am overflowing with love and abundance. I give from the source of my being, which is rich and unlimited. With joy and excitement, I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means, and so it is. Now, sing for us.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We had like a whole duet thing going on there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Kind of good, didn't it?
So Bill's going to bring over the bowl, and we'll do a prayer. So knowing that God is all there is, all-knowing, all-powerful, all-present, knowing that God is the source of all things, knowing that we are all one with the one, and in this we are grateful. I bless this tithing, I bless this investment, knowing that this helps us grow, it helps us give, and the law of reciprocation allows it to come and to go and to be part of the cycle that is the abundance of our lives, the sufficiency of our lives. And for this, I am grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And together we affirm, I release my word into the law, knowing it is done, and so it is. So it is, so it is. Okay, I think it's Bill's turn again. Aren't we so glad to have him? He's just like our utility player today.
Glad to be of service. Okay, if you're looking forward to the Zoom conversation at noon today, we're not having one. Okay, so as always, when we are in person, we don't do that. Prayer requests. The practitioners like myself. We also have. Where did Sue go? Sue, there she is behind the post back there, and Stephanie and myself and. We are available for prayer. Any one of us are available for prayer today. We'll go back in the little private space and have a nice prayer about anything you'd like to pray with one of us on. We invite you to. We love doing it. So that is always available. Also, if it's not, at an in-person service and you feel like you need prayer, get on our website, go to the About page, pick the practitioner you'd like to have pray with you. Our contact information is in there. Send us an email. Once we get one of those, we spread it to the whole ecumenical group, which is all the ministers and the practitioners, and everybody prays for you. So it's certainly a wonderful way, and we love to do it. All right, as Reverend Rachel talked about, I'm trying to read the slide and talk at the same time, and I won't do that. There are lots of ways to volunteer and lots of ways to bring your talents to Centers for Spiritual Living to our center. Alan right now is doing double duty. So if you notice that sometimes when he finishes a song and then we start talking and it's not working, it's because he's running back to the soundboard to get it worked up. If we had a full-time sound tech, that would be great, if anybody's into that. Video streaming tech like Marina is doing. You know, there's only a couple of us that really like doing that and know how to do it. So, you know, more techie type people would be great. Love to have you. Greeters, you know, we love to have somebody at the front, you know, to make sure that we're all welcomed, and you know, that's a good thing. And then kitchen support, you know, that excuse me, there's always ways that that we could use your help, and appreciate that. The installation ceremony, which is coming up in October.
Do you want me to talk about that?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Okay, I can talk about that.
It's going to be fun.
I'm so excited, yes.
I hate to turn it over to Reverend Rachel, but she likes this. So.
I do. You can have the mic back in just a minute. So this installation that we're having, we need volunteers, and we're going to talk more about the installation in just a minute. So we're doing a raffle. So you're going to buy raffles, and we're going to give away prizes, obviously, but you know what? We need prizes. So what I'm asking for the community and the leadership and everybody or anybody who would like to donate a raffle prize. So we've already got all of the practitioners have donate a practitioner session, which is up to 50 minutes to sit with them and to talk through and pray. It's amazing. Whoever wins, that's going to be very fortunate. We also are doing a raffle prize for a class and a workshop. And so it doesn't have to be a lot, but the more we get, the more fun we're going to have doing this raffle. So if you have anything that you would like to donate to the center for this raffle, please let us know. We also need people at the event to help set up, because we have lots of decorations that we put up. So if you're interested in helping decorate, let us know, and we will definitely utilize your time and your talent in that sense. What's the next? Okay.
At the back of the room, back behind Stephanie, is our used book store sale place. We're donating books. You know, members of the community are donating books, and I think there's a small love offering to take one home. And you can also bring, if you have a favorite book that you'd like to pass on to someone else, you know, bring it in and bring it into the library. So we've just started that a couple weeks ago, and it looks like it's been pretty successful so far. Next in-person service, September 14th, 2 weeks from now, right? Yeah. The purpose that surpasses all, 2 or 3 weeks from now, you know, the second week in September. Next weekend, online, the practitioners will be talking about love's descent, not decent, descent. And then September 7th, Reverend Joe will be back with us online, and he will be talking about what's the point anyway. And then we do have an upcoming class. I know everybody, a lot of people, you know, talk about, you know, how do we learn more? How do we get better? How do we improve our lives? You know, this is a great one. Treatment and meditation. I've taken it twice, loved it both times. Not because I failed it the first time, because I liked it. And, you know, it's just $199, and Reverend Joe and Reverend Rachel will be co-facilitating it, and it's going to be a good one. So look at that online if you're interested. And Reverend Rachel already talked about the installation. It is Friday, October 17th, and there is a address on the website. It's Eventbrite where you can go sign up. I just signed up last week myself. Rachel's sending out invitations via email too. So you should look for your email to get something there with a direct link. So, all right, a little more music from Alan.
Little more music from everybody. Want to stand up? We'll sing. Stand up. Is it time?